and welcome to a new episode of the Roofless Dog and Pony Show. My name is Julio Panisello, and I am the dream alchemist at Roofless Painters, a free-range art school and gallery for creative nomads. Each episode features the theme of our next painting collection, so you can learn what we'll do, what we'll paint, and why we're going to paint it. In addition to discussing the origin of the concept's theme and its contemporary context, we explore the possibilities for visual representation on our work. Using paintings throughout history as inspiration, we cite stylistic and historical references. In many ways, our episodes are like our paintings, messy and predictable and unvarnished. All episodes can be found as video on Instagram and on our YouTube channel, and as podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and other popular podcast platforms. So you can listen to the episodes while you walk or drive, or if you want to tune out from the world. And people just love to fall asleep listening to them. So you're invited to contact us with any questions or remarks about this episode and to contribute your notes to the presentation. So last week we did the anti-portraits. The painting collection is coming along amazing, and there were many challenges. There were a few challenges about doing a portrait of a figure from behind with a little bit of a perspective. The main challenge was to paint the ears, and ears are not our favorite anatomical part, let's just put it this way. They're weird, they're small, they have a lot of folds. So usually when we do a portrait, we don't pay too much attention to the ears. But with this past portrait, we had no choice. That was something that we discussed and we tackled. We talked about anatomy of the ear, and then in the midst of this sort of like challenge, we just came up with, or we just noticed a very interesting piece. Oops, that's not even, I don't know if you can see anything, but anyhow, so there was someone who posted an interesting fact about Vermeer's The Girl with a Pearl Earring. And the interesting fact about the painting, we're not going to show the full painting, or maybe we will. No, I don't think we will. Yeah, so there was an interesting fact about one specific part of the painting, and this is like a real close up to the earring of the girl. This was painted in 1666, I believe. And let me just see. Yeah, so in fact, this is not really a pearl. You know, there are some scientists or some experts that they actually believe that this is it's impossible to be a pearl because of its size. It's very large. Let me see if I can bring another image. This one right here. I don't know. It's a little bit it's very dark, but anyhow, the way Vermeer painted this is amazing. The painting is not very big, and you can barely see the strokes of white paint. The pearl or the earring, it's not fully formed. They're not heavy or hard edges. You cannot see any hardware. There is no connection between the earring and the ear. It's really fascinating. The optical illusion when you step back, it's of a fully formed pearl, and it just looks quite hyper realistic. But in fact, when you get like a close up of the painting, which we're not going to show again, just because it's not necessary, I think, you realize of how little paint there is on that earring. There are only two dashes of paint two dashes. One it's a little bit more opaque. The other one it's very transparent. So there is and there's nothing else. I mean, if you look up close, and we'll try to find better images of that, you'll see that there is actually, you can see the skin through the brush strokes. So this was added on top of the skin and as a glaze or as an overlayer, and the paint is very translucent. There's no variation of colors. We were reading that they identified the pigments that Vermeer used for this painting, and they're not that many. It's just like very limited palette. Lead white was part of the palette, and he just achieved different variations using glazes or really sheer transparent layers on top of existing paint. So it's quite remarkable. And so we decided between the anti-portrait and between the anti-portrait and the challenge with the ear and the article about the girl with a pearl earring. So the theme of the next painting collection will be ears with earrings. So we're just gonna, let me kind of like just share an example. We're gonna compile images that we found of ears. We're just gonna focus on that facial feature, or that feature, the anatomical feature on the head, just ears, and then an earring or more than an earring, because we want to just sort of like study this part of the face a little bit more. We want to practice the different values that form the ear, the folds, the shape, the hair as well. So it'll be a very specific close-up of an ear with earrings. And by all means, you can take a photo of your own ear if you wear earrings, or someone else's ear wearing earrings. But we'll just compile a little collection of photographs of different models wearing earrings. Let me see, I have another one. So we are going to show you a few images of paintings throughout modern, I would say, recent art history of paintings of people wearing earrings, or images or photographs. And it's been a really interesting exercise. Because last week we talked about how Gerhard Richter broke a lot of portrait conventions with his portrait of his daughter just facing away from the viewer. And it just, everything that we read seemed extremely revolutionary. And then we just came across this portrait painting by G. Clement, Girl with an Earring, 1896. So this is, we couldn't find a lot of information or any information about this painting, G. Clement. But this is an extraordinary piece. I mean, it's, unfortunately it's cropped, but it has a square format, and it's just a figure of a woman just with the same, I would say, with a similar point of view as Gerhard Richter. So I don't know why people rush to say that he broke portrait convention when other people before him did this already. But anyhow, so this is an example. This is not what we're gonna do. We're gonna focus this time only on the ear and the earring, but nevertheless we thought it would be interesting to just bring some images of painters that have done figures with earrings. This is a painting by a Finnish artist, Veikko Martinen, Woman with an Earring, 1992. And different background, different style, different approach, but a painting with a figure with an earring. We're just gonna bring another image, Cameroonian artist, contemporary Cameroonian artist, Marc Padeu. He lives and works in Cameroon, actually. And so this is an example of recreating an iconic painting and inserting a narrative that feels representing of the artist's own life experience or life. So we thought this was interesting because of the large pearl. We don't know if it's a pearl or not, but it's the same, or it's a recreation, but using different iconography. Same idea of a turban. By the way, the painting wasn't titled Girl with a Pearl Earring. It had a different title. At some point, it was titled Girl with a Turban, but then I have no idea how it switched to the pearl earring. But so we thought this was interesting because in this case, the painting really features clearly a fully formed, it's the same shape, but a fully formed, what it looks like a gigantic pearl. Another interesting, this is a painting by an artist, Japanese artist, Usaburo Mimino, titled Earring. So he was born in 1891. I think he passed away. I'm not sure which year, but and of course the little image is covering the earring, so that's not a good that's not a good one. This is a painting by George Hendrik Breitner, and he was a Dutch painter and photographer and a very important figure in Amsterdam Impressionism. And he's noted especially for his paintings of street scenes and harbors in a realistic style. He painted outdoors and plein air and became interested in photography as a means of documenting street life and atmospheric effects, rainy weather in particular. But this one is a different. We love the fact that there's the figure, full figure, and the figure is just either removing or putting the earrings on, and then the figure is facing a mirror, so you can see the back of the figure, you can see the face on the reflection. So it's a really interesting and beautiful composition for a portrait painting and a figure painting. We love the ochre on the ground, the yellow, the almost matching fabric on the curtains and the dress. And and then so we wanted to find some examples of figures that were male figures wearing earrings, and we had some difficulty finding some interesting paintings of men wearing pearl earrings or wearing earrings. So this is a painting of a Maharaja, and that was one of the two references of men wearing earrings in paintings that we found. Portrait of a Maharaja, Madho Singh, attributed to Sahim Ram Maharaja, who was born in 1750 and died in 1768, and of the Kachahwa dynasty of Jaipur. So yeah, you can see the pearls and emeralds on the necklace, and then the ruby on the earrings. So that's an example. And then we just found a photograph of another Maharaja wearing a truckload of pearls, and this is a photograph. And Maharaja of Patalia, his name was Bhupinder Singh, 1891 and to 1938. This photograph was taken in 1911. And yes, that's another example. We just wanted to find examples of men wearing pearl earrings. We thought this, for whatever reason, we thought this would have been easy, just because some of the portraits from the Dutch Renaissance, there's a lot of like fashion accessories, and for some reason we thought we would be able to find yes, would be able to find more examples, but we didn't. And so I think that is essentially. Oh yeah, a couple of images, contemporary images. So this is a photograph, a recent photograph by Awol Erizku, born in 1988. He is an Ethiopian American contemporary artist who lives and works in New York City and LA. And he is a painter and a photographer, and he does film and sculpture also. And at some point, I forgot the year, he he took a picture of a model in the same, recreating the same pose, and titled it a Girl with Bamboo Earring. So he replaced the accessory with something else, but he was sort of like again using or recreating the image, representing a different representing something different. So we thought this, and we've seen this before, so it was nice to retrieve this. And finally, he's not like so a few years ago, Banksy actually did a mural, and he recreated a girl with a pearl earring, the painting, on a wall, and he just sprayed the portrait around an alarm box. So the alarm box, it's meant to be the pearl earring, and then he just created this. Probably it's one of the better Banksys, I guess, that we've seen. I forgot the year, but this is not new or recent. This has been. We should point and find out the year, but we'll just do more research tomorrow when we get together again. We're going to paint ears and earrings. We're going to have like a image bank to choose from in case you want to find an image reference. But you can just also do your own. And the idea would be to just focus. Oh, and by the way, our favorite Vermeer, it's not the girl with a pearl earring. Our favorite Vermeer, it's the girl with a red hat. I believe Vermeer, there are 36 paintings attributed to him. So not many. He worked as an art dealer mostly, and also as a painter, but he wasn't necessarily super prolific. This was a painting that he did after Girl with a Pearl Earring, and we just think it's much more interesting. And she's also wearing a pearl. And by the way, there are quite a few portraits done by Vermeer in which the models are wearing pearls. So he was a fan. Yeah, he was a fan of that, or at least a fan of painting pearls. But anyhow, so the idea, earrings, would be to again just focus on what we found challenging, and the part of a portrait that gets a little bit less TLC, which is the ear. We will paint ears and wearing earrings. So different skin tones, different hairstyles, but it will be no eyes, no mouths, no accessories, nothing else. It's just a collection of paintings that will be focused on this specific part of our anatomy, the one that doesn't get much love. So please sign up for pre-register or register for the webinar. The webinar link is in our calendar, rooflesspainters.com, and you can just register there. We're going to send an email tonight to everyone as well with more details about this webinar. We're excited. We hope you join us. It's only $20. You have a bonus session this coming Tuesday. We do a tutorial and then we get more feedback. We curate some of the paintings to go in our gallery for sale, and that has been amazing. These are not just exercises, these are formal paintings, and we love to feature our pieces on our online gallery. Very important date of this Saturday, we are going out to the Santa Monica Mountains to paint the Matilija poppies. So please also, while you are checking the dates in our calendar, just know that this Saturday we are painting Matilija poppies in the Santa Monica Mountains from 10 to 1, 3 hours. So it should be amazing. We did it 2 years ago. We couldn't do it last year. So we're excited to get out there and paint the poppies. And that's all. Thank you so much. And we hope you join us for this earrings series. That's going to be the title. And thank you.